Don't vote for me. I don't want that vote. I don't want a xenophobic vote. I love my African people. The same way I love my mother and my grandmother. I'm in love with Africans. Africans are hated everywhere. You go to America, the black skin is a source of hatred. You go to UK, a black skin is a source of hatred. You asking me to join in the hatred of black people. I know what the hatred of my skin did during apartheid. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be asked that I should stand at the border, at the fence between Limpopo and Zimbabwe and block a mother who's carrying a child, only crossing to get a medication in Musina and going back to Zimbabwe because there is a problem in Zimbabwe. I refuse to join that chorus. And if that will not make me the president of this country, I'm happy that let me die with my conscience being clear than being a president who has emerged through selling out his own soul. Nobody asked me to feel like this. I feel very strongly about black people. I feel very strong about African continent. And I would rather not be a president because I know for a fact that this is an establishment that is spreading this anti-blackness that we experience everywhere else. It's not true. There's jobs in the restaurants. These Lesotho women who are working in our houses, our sisters don't want to work there. They've gone to schools. They want quality jobs. Not that they look down on these jobs. They are saying, I cannot, with a diploma, with N6, with qualifications, go and be a domestic worker. We want more. Who wants to go and work and be paid with wine in the Cape Farms? Who wants to do that of South Africans? Let me and you take trucks and buses now and go and fetch those foreigners who are working there during harvesting season in the Cape wines. Let's go and take them and let's see what's going to happen to those Cape wines. All of those grapes are going to get rotten because our people will never agree to work in exchange for wine. Never will I. Nothing will persuade me. Not the results of the elections, not a gun on my head, not any form of intimidation will persuade me to hate on black people. I will never hate on Africans, not even for votes. Do not vote for me if you don't love us.
Let's go outside. Show me papers that confirms you are the owner of this country. There's nothing. You don't own anything, yet you call people foreigners. You are a foreigner yourself because you do not own. Foreigners means visitors. Visitors are people who just come empty-handed with a small bag. When the time permits, they go. That's you. You are renting. You are marching from the hostels, beating up people that they must leave South Africa. Yet you do not own a hostel. You are paying a rent in that hostel. You can be removed yourself from that hostel. You are telling people to leave your country. You come from an apartment, you come from a flat, you come from a house, you have no paper. When you return back home after taking out Zimbabweans, the white man will be at the door showing you the way out of the rented flat, out of the rented house, out of the rented apartment. You have nothing to show. Yet you claim this is your country. You have nothing. You are defending a white man's property. This South Africa is owned by a white man. This South Africa is controlled by the white man. Don't tell me this is your country. When people are burning buildings, you are rushing, protecting them. Those are not your buildings. Those are white man's buildings. You have nothing. Stop hating. Zimbabwe, it's our home. Let's call Walema Zimbabwe. We are one thing. Mozambique, it's our home. DRC, it's our home. Botswana, it's our home. We were divided by the Boers who imposed borders on us. We never said we want borders. These borders were imposed on us by the colonizers. We are one people. The problems of Zimbabwe are our problems. We must help to solve the problem of Zimbabwe. We are praying that the people of DRC must find a permanent solution for DRC. We want the people of Western Sahara to get their land back. We want the people of Palestine to get their freedom from apartheid Israel, which stole the land of the Palestinians. We want the freedom of the people of Cuba, because the people of Cuba, they've done so much for us as the people of South Africa. The suffering of the Cubans is our suffering. So fighters, let us not be too local. Let us be international. We are existing in a globe. We do not exist in isolation. Aretsebe matata alefase kamoka, because atoma wanakwa, before you know it, asheja fitlemo South Africa. Let us stop xenophobia. Let us stop self-hate. Hamotoelele China asinadi pampir alimate. Hamotoelele India asinadi pampir alimate. Hamotoelele Kowa asinadi pampir alimate. But when an African is in South Africa and he doesn't have papers, you beat them. Why? Because you hate yourself. You don't love yourself. You must see yourself in a Zimbabwean. You must see yourself in a Mozambican, because that's who you are. Africa, we are one. There is no one who must be allowed to divide Africa. Our struggle is to liberate the whole of Africa. We want the resources of Africa to benefit the people of Africa, and not the West, and not the East, and not those who come outside Africa. Let's protect one another. Let us be one thing. Let us love our continent. Let us fight for our continent. Let Africa one day realize its own freedom. Let Africa one day stand on its own feet and say, I own my minerals. I own everything that belongs to this continent. Let Africa alone be able to say, enough is enough. Away with colonialism. Away with the imperialists. Let the unity of African people reign supreme in all of us. We are Africans, and we are not going to apologize about that. We will defend the Zimbabweans. We will defend Africans in our townships, because we are one thing.